Hi, Siaya. When people ask where I'm from, I say think of the furthest place north you've ever been. Now keep going. Yep, that's us. The heart of the Arctic.
Hi, it's Anne Brodie from What She Said in Canada. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just blown away by number one. When I saw the show, first off, I thought, wow, this is something really unique. It's on Netflix, which co produced, but wow. I mean, talk about, I don't remember ever seeing anything like that. So tell me how it's changed things.
I think from the beginning, I always knew we were making something special, and I was always so grateful that, Stacey and Alethea, the showrunners, welcomed me on board to be able to tell this story. And the moment I read the description and the auditions and then the scripts, it was this sense of this is going to change how the North is represented in film and television. This is going to change the landscape of representation of the North. And it truly does feel like it's having that impact, that we get to see the North as vibrant, as bright, as colorful, as humor-filled. And that's how I've always known it. That's how I grew up with it. And of course, there's elements of sadness and trauma and colonialism. Those are very real things that exist within our communities, but that's not what defines us. It's how our community navigates that and gets through it that defines us. And
Yes.
with this show, I really think we kind of set a new sort of uh, precedent for, telling stories that center joy and that
Yes.
healing and growth. I am a modern Inuk woman. I got married out of high school, started a family. Now he's the town golden boy, and I'm his wife.
That's a wonderful explanation. And you were in the Grizzlies, and that too celebrated community, the sense of community, which I think, I'm guessing, I've never been there. Boy, I'd love to go. Is that is sort of the driving force of existing up there is the sense of community. Are you going to be staying there? Are you going to be living there part time now that all of this has happened?
I really think what I love is with this team. So Stacey and Alethea, who were the showrunners on North of North, were also producers from the Grizzlies, and Miranda DePoncia, who was a producer on North of North, was the director of the Grizzlies. And so that same team always approached their projects with a community-centered approach, and that to me is so radical and so incredible, that's how they navigate the industry, and it makes me want to work with them over and over and over again because I think they're so special. Like for time immemorial, we've always leaned on one another to be able to survive. It's a harsh landscape. It's a long winter. You need to rely on other people to get you through it. And throughout history, Inuit have really also relied on performance, music, games to bring brightness and to bring laughter and joy into, harsh and cold winters. And this sense of community is something that still very much lives and breathes amongst us, and we still very much lean into one another. And, whether that looks a little bit different nowadays, of course it will. We're always growing and changing. A culture is never what it was in the past. It's ever changing. So that sense of community is very much, I think, what defines so many of our projects. And I'm really happy that it's a big part of what defines our show.
And it's just a surprise hit. I mean, who knew? And what an open, I mean, the opener, it's not exactly the opener, it's kind of the opener. That kiss. I mean, talk about talk about something I've never seen on TV before. But she handles it so well. It was a mistake. He doesn't handle it very well. He doesn't know what to do,
Hmm.
which is kind of funny. And it just that's when I knew that this was something that would really really hit in a different way from anything else. And tell me how much you are or are not like Saya.
I would say there's definitely elements of me that are like, yeah, the kind of ambition and
Yeah.
the I can do it attitude and just wanting just well-intentioned and wanting good for the community and for her family. I would say in terms of impulsiveness, in terms of messiness, uh, maybe
Sassiness.
not as much.
That's funny.
Am I a loser?
I have no ride, no job, no home.
No clue.
Really?
Sup, kids?
Are you a drug dealer?
Can you not?
A cross between Snow White and Pocahontas. Snow-Pocahontas.
Oh.
Hire me.
If you had my job, I know it's ridiculous to even think about, but what would you do?
Now, her husband and her potential boyfriend are vying for her attention, and it's really a good fight. And you can just see them sort of communicating silently and so as not to bring it out into the open. And I'm guessing and I'm hoping that we see some of this in the next season. And I'm wondering if you've begun to shoot and if you can reveal anything.
No word on a second season yet. We're all
Oh, it'll be coming.
we all have our fingers crossed and hopes and dreams for what comes next for every character and what could happen. But yeah, it's just about getting there first.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen. That's just the way it goes. And I want to address one of the funniest scenes I think I've ever seen in this show is her sitting at the dump where she works, watching a fire in a lawn chair. I mean, these incredible things happen that right out of the blue that are so funny and so real in a way, even though they're surprising. So tell me about that scene. How did that strike you when you were doing it?
I mean, the dump fires are something that definitely happen a lot.
Oh, really?
And yeah, there was definitely a point in like my childhood where I remember a good, every few days the dump was reigniting, and because of the fumes and stuff, we'd all get sent home from school. So it wasn't that bad. I'm sure it was fairly bad. But those kinds of things that seem a bit like impossible or like, oh, that doesn't happen. They probably have, or they probably will, or they definitely could. So filming those scenes, like the dump fire, was a really fun one to shoot. And being able to explore also all of the kind of dynamics of, Alistair comes in and he's the local research guy and they're trying to get the pitch ready and everything and trying to navigate that conversation of the kiss, and then also he lights the dump on fire and is trying to figure out how to hide herself from it.
That's so great. Thank you so much. You are a delight.
Oh, thank you
very, very much.
I want to make our community a better place. Any tips?
Just be you.
Every community needs a special person like you to bring the generations together.
God, I love it up here.
Who's the loser now, bitch?
No.
Thank you for sharing your traditional knowledge with me. Namaste.